Ginger Runner.
What is up, everybody? Ethan Newberry, the Ginger Runner, here for another GingerRunner.com review. A big one today. It is the second version of a shoe that I reviewed a long time ago and really liked, the ALTRA OLYMPUS 2.0. Yeah, I'm into it. If you don't remember my original review of the ALTRA OLYMPUS, I encourage you to go watch that. There's a little link you can go if you would like to do that. The shoe is a bit different than that version. They went and they changed things for the better. Some of the issues that I had with the previous shoe have been fixed. I'm going to get to all of that in this review. I'm very excited. That being said, there are still a couple little nitpicks with this shoe, but I am happy that this wide toe box, zero drop, highly cushioned, aggressive outsole trail shoe is here to rock our world. You know my reviews, I talk about things I like and dislike. Let's start with things that I like about the ALTRA OLYMPUS 2.0. Let's start with cushioning. There's a lot of it in the shoe. I loved it from the first version. They didn't do away with it in the second at all. Plenty of A-bound midsole material. What I like with this version is that, yes, it is highly cushioned, but I believe the material is a bit more responsive. So not only are your feet welcomed into these soft pillows, but they also have a bit of spring in them as well. Max cushioning. The upper in the shoe has changed. It's now thinner, it's a little bit lighter, more flexible. It's still comfortable. It actually gives you a bit more room than the first version. It's not quite as forgiving or as stretchy as the first version, but overall I like it. I like the thinness, I like the breathability on it. So far it's been fairly durable. I can see a couple spots where it could potentially break through, but at this point I've had zero problems. The upper, vastly improved. And here's where it gets good. The outsole. Vibram rubber, aggressive lugs. Compared to the previous version, this thing is like giant talons just digging into dirt, mud, clay, and soft earth. It's awesome. You would end up skating all over the place if you weren't running on dry, compact, buffed out single track with the previous version. This one, you really have access to all conditions and plenty of traction to get through it all. I really like it. Huge improvement. I also really appreciate that the outsole is not entirely rubber. It's sections and pods of rubber with some EVA exposed as well. So it's a bit of a balance if you were running on the roads. Overall, good outsole, nice and durable as well. Weight. The shoe actually shaved a bit of weight, and you know what? I bet it was all right back here with that heel flipper, which is now gone. That's such a good thing. But overall, it's saving a few grams. I didn't notice it too much. Yes, it's still a bit heavy, but it is lighter than the previous version, so that gets a thumbs up. They're going in the right direction, which I like. So far, all really great things. There are a couple of things that I still dislike about it. Sizing. I had the same problem in the first version. Didn't talk much about it in the review. I thought maybe it was a fluke or maybe my review sample. I think my feet fall between two sizes, an 11 and a 10.5, because the 10.5 is too short and the 11 is too wide and voluminous. It's really interesting. I end up having to really crank down on the laces to get the shoe to fit my midfoot correctly, but it ends up causing some misfitment throughout the heel cup, which has been reduced considerably. I like that. It's less of a skater shoe now, more of a traditional running shoe. However, since I have to adjust the laces so often and drastically, the sizing and the fitment is not quite dialed in for me, unfortunately. If you go to try these on, make sure you try on sizes within your range. Midsole material. Yes, I do like the fact that it is cushioned, but yet responsive. However, I think it might be a little too responsive compared to the first version, which I felt was like a super soft max cushion shoe that really absorbed a lot of the shock, a lot of the rocks, and a lot of the problems with technical trails. This shoe tends to be a little too responsive, even after nearly 100 miles of wear testing. It hasn't been as soft as I remember the first version being, which, being nitpicky, yes, but overall I just thought it was a different experience in the first version, ever so slightly. But that, my friends, is it for dislikes. Not many dislikes. I actually really enjoy this shoe. I think, you know, the sizing and midsole issues are fairly minor. I really do think if you are going to look at this shoe, look for a max cushion shoe with a wide toe box and a zero drop. You're going to want to try it on. You're going to want to try it out for a while first. Overall, huge improvement over the first version. That is what I'm excited to talk about. I'll be using this shoe in upcoming races and training, and I'm happy that they made the changes that they made. So let's get on with the points. Quality, continue to be a 4 out of 5 on this. It's a solid quality shoe. There's just a couple of the issues that I talked about earlier. I had to dock them a point for that. Comfort, a comfortable shoe, a bit responsive, 4 out of 5. Price at $145 to $150 depending on where you find it. I do have a link in the description below where you can get that. I gotta give it a 3 out of 5. I think that's where I'm gonna have to kind of pull apart a little bit. Pretty expensive. Looks, I'm gonna give them 4 out of 5. I don't think this is the best looking version of the shoe. They do have 2 other versions in the men's styles, at least, that have a little bit better colors, a little bit more lively. So I'll give it 4 out of 5. That brings our grand total to 15 out of 20 for the ALTRA OLYMPUS 2.0. I think it's a solid score. It's definitely a shoe you're going to want to check out if you are into the max cushion, traction, trail, wide toe box, zero drop sort of shoe, if that is what you're looking for. Check it out. Definitely worth your time. And that, my friends, is it for today's review. I hope you guys enjoyed it. If you did, make sure you like, favorite, and subscribe to this channel on youtube.com/thegingerrunner. In case you forgot, I'm partnering up with Running Warehouse, so there's links in the description for this shoe as well as many other shoes. There's even a coupon code for 10% off most items in their store, so you definitely want to use that. Check it out, link in the description. Make sure you subscribe across all social networks. On Twitter, it's @thegingerrunner. On Facebook, facebook.com/thegingerrunner. On Instagram, it's @EthanNewberry, and of course, gingerrunner.com. Every single Monday at 6 p.m. Pacific Standard Time, live shows right here on the channel. And if you would like to support everything that we're doing here at Ginger Runner, films, reviews, everything like that, go to patreon.com/thegingerrunner and get some fun perks on the back end. Well, that sounded dirty. And that, my friends, is it for today's review. I hope you guys enjoyed it. Get out there, train hard, race harder, and party the hardest. I know I am. Goodbye.